sorry for being so late. It's been a busy
Oh, that's
day.
cool. Yeah, so you guys did a radio interview before this too.
Yeah. We've had a few meetings today. We had our first ever label meeting this
Oh,
morning.
that's
Uh,
exciting.
it's an independent label. It's still early days, so it something could come from it, but we got to be a lot of horror stories when it comes to record labels and stuff.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it works out for the best. That's
Yeah.
exciting though. Congratulations.
Hey, thank you. Thanks for doing this interview as well.
Yeah. Thank you for joining me. I'm super pumped to have you here. I've been listening to your music. I love Nothing to Do. I feel like that has total potential to be like the song of the summer once it blows up, because I know it will.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, so I just want to know kind of the basics of what Moleface is with you guys.
Okay. So Moleface is okay. Moleface it's a character based thing pretty much, but don't say that anywhere. But Moleface is an alien and he wants to be a rock star. He believes that becoming a rock star is the cure to loneliness, which is if you had we've got a film, we've made a movie a few months
Oh,
back, YouTube. It's kind of tells a bit of the origin story of how we kind
okay,
of
cool.
yeah it's a but really I mean if you want do you want to do this like character based or do you want to actually know how we started doing it because we do a bit of
Both.
both.
If you have
Yeah.
time for both, I'd love to hear all
Oh,
of it.
definitely I mean so well we we met Fred and I. Well, I'm Rajan. So Freddie Perfect. He plays guitar and also writes and produces. And then Rojo he writes and produces his own stuff as well, but he also does mixes and masters our stuff and produces and so yeah. So all the songs are all produced at the core of it by us three. Um, and we all met at college, and so we've been doing music together since 2018.
Oh,
But
wow. That's a long
yeah,
time.
yeah. But then Moleface is like started late 2022, starting to write stuff. So it's been like year and a half, maybe a bit more now.
Okay.
Um, yeah, that's the actual origin story. I mean, yeah. What else?
Do you want to go the story route? Oh, we got what we
The story route is Moleface lands on Earth. And Freddie Perfect is a bowling enthusiast. That's his character arc. And so Moleface becomes hyperfixated with Matty Healy,
I've
which
noticed that.
yeah. And I said, the whole idea of stardom and all that. And he finds a magazine of Matty Healy on the streets of London.
That's
And
hilarious.
he eventually loses it, and Freddie Perfect finds it, and that's how they met. If the film, it's like
Okay.
half hour long. If
it's
you
narrate Morgan
I
Freeman
need to
narrate.
watch that after this.
you do. If you're fan, Morgan Freeman's the narrator, so it's pretty good.
So does that stem from you guys being huge Maddie Healy fans, or is it just like the
No,
character?
no, of course. It's. I mean, when we all met in 2018,
We will.
well, yeah, Fred and I were massive 1975 fans, and we still are. I think now it's kind of when we started, we would if like we've got old songs that it is pretty much well, Nothing to Do is very 1975, and it was kind of we knew what we were doing. We were like, oh, might as well lean into it. We love the 1975, so we might as well do it. And then we realized, oh, okay, well, this is actually the audience that might like our music is probably going to be 1975 fans because we're 1975 fans.
So you can relate.
So it's a bit of both. Like we're not we're like a lot of the videos we film where we're going to meet Matty Healy or like try and meet him. Like obviously I'd love to meet him. He is one of our heroes, but also it's also put on a little bit.
Yeah,
It's
exaggerated.
Yeah, exaggerated versions of
Us.
us. Yeah. We love Matty Healy, but maybe not as much as it appears.
No, that's so funny because I didn't know that Moleface until you'd said it when we were DMing that Moleface was a character. I thought that was just
The
like
band,
you guys.
yeah.
These are just crazy 1975 fans. They just love it.
Yeah.
But your
That's good.
TikToks are so funny. They're hilarious.
Thank
The
you.
one where
Thank
like
you.
the manager posted you guys on their
Yeah.
story, that cracked me
Yeah,
up.
Yeah. No, honestly,
That's crazy. It's
it's
crazy.
but that's the thing. Like we were just like, well, it's hard, nowadays, like it is all just with TikTok and stuff, it is all like just narratives. People get invested in narratives, and also by kind of committing to that, like it's given us something to do that's related with to our music and our careers. And other than that, like it's obviously we can do shows and stuff, but how do you build a demand nowadays for people to want to come and see you if they don't know who you are? Like nowadays, no one no one goes to see shows of people they don't care about.
Yeah.
There's so much, people are used to just consuming what they already know they like.
Mhm.
So we that's our way of kind of,
Nudging our way in. Yeah.
yeah, I know, and it's really fun. Like we love, like we've always filmed,
Yeah. It's videos of us dancing.
yeah, videos of us dancing, videos of us
Goofing
goofing
Mhm.
about. But we're like, might as well use it for something that,
we can, make a career.
yeah,
Yeah.
in the long run.
That's why it came so naturally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was having a conversation with a friend about this the other day, and they were like, there's no good music that's new, like no new artists. And there is, you just have to look for it.
Yes,
And I think
yes.
people just don't, they like what they like and they don't want to take that step. And I think TikTok has made such a change in that because it gives, especially with like the UMG takedowns, because now there's not
Yeah.
a bunch of
Exactly. Well,
bigger artists infiltrating all of the sounds. So it gives people
Right.
another chance to
exactly.
find new music like you guys.
TikTok's a
It is.
massive
It's the way to go now. Like that's
it is.
kind of how you get followers now is through Reels and
It
TikToks
is.
and being online.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's
Yeah.
the way. And it's like, if we hated social media completely, then maybe let's do music as a hobby. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but I think it got to a couple of years ago, like, right, how do we actually do this? And it's like, right, we've got to learn how to do TikTok in a way
Mhm.
that's it becomes an extension of our art and not just let's do it to get the views. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like that's
Yeah.
very, we did 1975 dances because we love dancing to the 1975 songs. And we did videos where we went and interviewed people at their shows and stuff because we love films like we love Borat and stuff, and like the whole idea of like acting and people don't really know you're acting.
Mhm.
That's a but that's again, like we don't even, we're still learning what it is, but it just seems to work.
Well, it's entertainment.
Yeah.
I think you kind of separate yourself from it being a character. You can kind of separate yourself from.
Yeah, you'd stop caring about what people think as much because
Yeah, because you're in a
the amount,
character.
yeah, exactly. It's like, oh,
Kind
Moleface.
of playing a bit dumb.
Yeah. It's just,
So
sorry.
going, I mean, we're still talking about this, but like when did you come up with the idea for Moleface? Like how did that even come to be in your minds?
So I mean, this is quite a while. I'd say it's probably like 3 years ago. Um, we had a little band going before, and we were kind of like we'd been doing locally, we'd been doing well, doing a few shows and whatnot. But this was like we did not understand TikTok. We'd come up completely through live shows at that point.
Hmm.
So that was kind of our strength. And we were kind of like, well, as well, we'd started that when we first met, and the kind of what we'd fallen into was very much like a college band, quite boy bandy, which is, I've got no problem with coming across as a boy band at all. I think what we're doing now is weirdly, kind of quite boy bandy in a way. But we were kind of like, oh, what's the long term thing here? Like the band we were before just wasn't really us anymore. And I think we were just talking about, we were very obsessed with like things like obviously David Bowie, like Ziggy Stardust and all his character stuff. And then as well, then we also had fucking uh Jesse Rutherford from The Neighborhood coming up with Chip Chrome and the Monotones, which was, we were also very like, oh, this whole character thing is amazing. And then there's still loads of people, like I think everyone's all these, if you, whether you're talking obvious people like Tizo Touchdown, like he's obviously a character, or Matty Healy himself, like
He even
you
says it
know,
himself,
like
he's like,
he
how much of it is play and how much of it is like him.
that yeah. So we kind of just wanted to separate ourselves a bit. Well, with social media, if you get too attached to it in terms of your
own ego,
and your day-to-day like identity, like now I'm Jack, I'm not Moleface in my day-to-day life, but if it becomes the same thing, I don't know, it becomes, I think, a bit more tricky to navigate. And I don't know, I think we love the fact that they're characters and we can kind of almost step away. It's quite intense when we're living and breathing the characters right now. It's like well, we're not actors, but it's our version of method acting.
I think like developing narratives as well.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And seeing what
Yeah.
happens.
I
Yeah.
really like what you're doing with it though, because I just feel like that's not a thing that people do anymore.
Thank
I mean,
you.
it's still a thing, but not with like new and upcoming bands.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I think it's so cool that you're doing something like this.
Thank you.
And the backstory is so random and fascinating, and I love it.
Yeah, yeah. No, but I think that's what we realize, like music nowadays transcends just music. It's entertainment that's
Yeah.
kind of become in one. And
that's great.
yeah, we love that.
We love all facets of
Yeah.
media.
So it's might as well do it, and I think there's not many people doing it now, but that is what the people blowing up in the next 10 years, including ourselves.
Yeah.
Will be people that kind of, I think understand, as great as it be to lock ourselves in a room and just make music non-stop and then put it out and have people kind of market it for you. That's just not realistic nowadays. And to be honest, I think by having like complete, like, this is, we've also got Oliver Skate Trace. He films all our music videos and stuff, and you should definitely check out the film the movie.
I will after this for sure.
It gives, it's an interesting one.
I'm excited to check it out. I'm fascinated now. I'm like in the story, and I think other people will be too.
Yeah. No, it was good. It was really good. I think from doing that, we realized, that was a long form content, but maybe now we can focus on bringing these characters to shorter snippets on TikTok, because we've been characters since we started doing TikTok dances with glasses on. We understood, okay, this is Moleface and Freddie Perfect, and we're doing these dances, and it's like, do we do that in our time off? Yes, we do. So we might as well film it,
Yeah. And I love the glasses thing. It's so trademarked to this character.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad we thought that's probably we just found the right glasses.
Yeah.
No, they're perfect. They really are perfect. It's so funny, but I love it.
Thank you.
So I want to hear a little bit more about Nothing to Do. How do you create a song like that from the perspective of a character?
Well, okay, so that's the thing. When we're creating music, the character's not involved at all.
Okay.
At all. So like when we're the music side of things is where it needs to feel good.
And authentic as well.
Yeah.
You don't need to have the character. No.
The characters, then we kind of mold, or like we realize, okay, this is what the song's about, and this is what it is for Moleface, which Moleface is an extension of me anyways. Yeah. So like, do you know what I mean? Like that's kind of, it comes naturally, but when we first wrote So Nothing to Do, Freddie had produced like this demo idea, which was not that dissimilar to how it is now. Obviously, then
clean it up.
Yeah, clean the track up. We made it obviously, what it is now, but the foundations were there very early on. Fred sent just the instrumental, and it was called like 280s ? Like we weren't sure whether we wanted to go down the 80s route at that time. We were focused quite a lot. We like a lot of there's a lot of like hyperpop, but you know, like the more like tame side of hyperpop. So we're talking, what's the ones you were saying?
Underscores.
Like underscores, you know, underscores
I feel
by
like
chance.
don't.
It's still it's very quite niche to be honest. But either way, it was a complete. We still figuring out what is Moleface. Like now we kind of what we play live and stuff, and we have a tagline, the best band in the galaxy, which
I
is
like that.
as soon as that came in, it was like
this is what.
But yeah, literally, it was called 280s because we thought maybe it's two. Fred was like, maybe it's 280s for us to do a song, but it just came so like sometimes you just gotta just go with the flow. Like
same night, I got the thing back. It was vocals.
It's a least thought out thing.
It was the quickest probably song that we
Yeah.
got that we just finished so quickly.
Definitely. And I think all the best songs are always quick to make.
Straightforward.
Yeah.
Because they're good songs. Just like that.
Yeah, they feel good. Feel good songs.
Yeah. It is a feel-good song, and I said this before, but I think it will be the song of the summer. At some point, it's gonna hit that point where it blows up.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna be like, "This is the greatest song ever."
Absolutely.
It's gonna be like that one Zimmer '90s song that everyone was using in their like yearly recaps. The What Love
Yeah,
Is
it's got
song.
nothing to do.
That's what it's gonna be, and I'm calling it now.
Oh yeah, you called it.
I called it. I'm saying it now.
On 5th of March.
5th of March.
DC called it.
I called it. I said it. Nothing to Do has a distinctly different vibe from some of your other songs as well. Like Take Me to the Moon is very
Yeah.
It's just a different vibe. So how was that song? How did that song come into fruition compared to Nothing to Do?
Take Me to the Moon. That's the thing. Yeah, every single song. Like I think we like to switch up the process of how it's made. So sometimes it'll be all our recent song, The Man with Four Arms and One Leg. I'm not sure if you've heard it yet, but it's
Excellent song. I love it.
Thank you. That one came along, all of us writing together. Nothing to Do was, again, very like, but Take Me to the Moon was just the first demo is just guitar and vocals, and after we added a few things, but that was just whatever, it's probably going through like a little bit of heartbreak and stuff, and just a good songs are always a good output. If you're feeling good, write about it. If you're feeling bad, write about it. That's it really. Take Me to the What else do I have to say?
No, it's quite an easy one as well. Like to kind of get it all clear. It's very bare bones.
I think the ending was like, what do we do with this?
Yeah.
But I think I like the vibe that goes toward a bit more upbeat towards the end.
Yeah. Not for too long.
Yeah,
I like how it kind of
just little tease of it.
Yeah, I think Take Me to the Moon is just one of them. I'd probably wrote it on my bed with a guitar, and it took me probably half hour to write, and that's it.
I think it carries that feeling.
Yeah. It's got a song like that has to feel raw, and I think it was raw. It was raw. So yeah, that's it about Take Me to the Moon, I think.
And you guys have an EP called London Core, and I really like that name, and it makes me think that London is like a source of inspiration for you guys. So how do you feel inspired by the place that you live?
Well, really,
if I'm interpreting that correctly, you can totally correct me.
So Rojo is the only one that lives in London at the minute. So we live a bit outside of London, but so every time especially back then, like now it's kind of become, we're used to quite like London has become a second home.
Yeah.
But when we first started working on Moleface stuff, we were kind of coming down to London, as well as we don't live in the city. So like when we were coming to the city, it's like every time we were going, it was literally though, like it was kind of, I don't know, at least for us, we associated it with this kind of dream of wanting to become a rock star, and London was for us it was the
physical embodiment of that.
It was literally it, kind of, and it still is kind of, but I think all the songs are written around London and experiences we've had, but yeah, London's it is such a big place, so it's just London from our perspective, basically. That's how it I think. And then the movie is also called London Core, so that will make a bit more sense when you see it.
I think it's
Yeah.
beautiful that you called it though that. It's very sweet to me. Just like the idea of a big city being so inspiring and it's like the awe and it's like
Yeah.
Los Angeles or something, people that have never been to LA, you know?
Yes,
Yeah.
That
yes.
kind of thing. Or New
Is
York.
it that exactly? I think it's we were also kind of, you know, kind of aware like everyone has an idea of what London is.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't really matter where you're from, you've got an idea, you know, okay, it's a city. Every city is slightly more romanticized than it should be. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you live in Los Angeles, you're probably be, oh, it's shit. But well, that's kind of if you speak to a lot of Londoners, it's like, oh, it's terrible here. But from an outside perspective, it's so shiny. It's so, and when we were writing that, for us, it was still so new. There was like, even now, like I still love London.
Yeah.
I still, you know, it's a city. There's always something going on.
There is always something going on.
Always things to look at. Like, wow, look at that building. It's so big.
Yeah.
Has that feeling become kind of nostalgic to you, or do you still feel it when you're in the city, or is it just not as dazzling as it once was?
I think it's kind of, if it was here, now it's going down a bit, and then one day it will go like to nostalgia where it'll be like, oh wow, those were the days.
Yeah.
But I think it's just a natural progression. We're spending so much time
In London.
and working on music, which is good, which is what we want. But it's kind of it's very busy at the minute, very busy.
Non-stop.
Yeah.
Are you guys working on a lot of new stuff right now?
Yeah. We've got the second tape coming out.
Oh, okay.
But that'll be, so we release it as like singles. So
Okay.
we've got like 6 songs coming out this year, so at least 6 songs.
Will that be
So-
an EP or just?
So it'll be so 5 of them will be on
Okay.
on the tape, and that'll be, it's
Okay.
called Stardust. The second one,
Cute.
Stardust.
Oh, I like that
Yeah.
name.
Yeah, that's, and then The Man with 4 Arms and 1 Leg is the first one on that tape.
Oh, okay. Can you tell me a
Yeah.
little bit more about that song? And also,
Yeah.
just quick side note, your album artwork for all of your songs is so cool, and I
Thank
love like the matching text in all of them.
Yes,
It's so
thank
rich,
you.
and I want to hear a little bit about that too. But first, the man with 4 arms and 1 leg.
The Man with 4 Arms and 1 Leg. So basically, long story short, we were all editing the movie in this room. You can't really see how big this room is, but it's like we were 4 people in here. And we'd been doing it for hours, like
getting pretty sweaty.
getting pretty sweaty, a bit, going a bit crazy, basically. And got to a point we were just playing some guitar, this is the guitar. This guitar
Some bongos
and
as well.
and a bongo. And we started singing the chorus because he's the man with 4 arms and 1 leg. And we're like, that's a really good chorus. Let's make it a song, but we can't really call it the man with 4 arms and 1 leg. But then we wrote the verses, and I was like, actually, this makes complete sense. It's really,
It's a metaphor.
yeah, it's just a metaphor. It's like really deep. But it basically is, which is, we all feel like the man with 4 arms and 1 leg, I think. And the man with 4 arms and 1 leg is just basically a metaphor for someone that tries to take on too many things and juggle too many things when they don't have the right foundations to do so. That's kind of what it's about. But it's also kind of a celebration of that, I think it's just kind of,
it's not necessarily a bad thing.
no, you just got to be aware that you've got a tendency to want to do everything at once instead of focusing one at a time.
Yeah.
That's I love the song. Very inspired by Talking Heads.
Yeah.
Very inspired. Obviously, I think there's a bit of 1975 in everything we do.
Yeah.
Even if it's more hidden in this one, but yeah. Just, we love the song. We just love it. It's like we were playing it like over and over and over again. I think now we've kind of calmed down.
Well, it's a great song. I mean, I love all of your songs in reality, but I say that about every single one of them.
Thank
But
you.
Yeah, so I mentioned the album artwork. Do you guys want to talk about that a little bit? Because the pictures and the vibe is all very specific.
Yeah, well, I mean, we love doing music videos for all. Like, we want to create a little bit of a visual world for each song, and then not just each song, but then it, overall, like giving you an idea of who these people are, who these characters are. And I think with the artwork, we now almost exclusively is like, right, we're gonna do a music video. Let's take a picture,
do the artwork whilst we're doing
a music video, because that is what the song is, really. Like, it's a bunch of people. Like, wow, the one for the man with 4 arms and 1 leg is like 10 people in it, and that's what the song feels like to us. It feels like, it's not a song that you listen to by yourself, or it is, but if, it feels big vocals in the chorus, like,
yeah.
I don't know, it just feels right, and I think we're completely, like, we're not scared of trying things. We're just looking for what feels right, and I think visually as well, we're learning to kind of match what's in our heads, if that makes sense. That's it's taken time. Like, I think Nothing to Do was the first one where we were like, that's it, that's the direction. That's the best band in the galaxy right there.
You guys have definitely nailed I mean, I know it's well thought through for everything, but you're able to show that to the audience so well that everything is connected and that this is very purposeful, and each of these songs has their own world. And I love what you said about creating a visual world for each song. I wrote that down. So
Nice.
I think you guys are just doing great things right now.
Thank you.
So you talked a little bit about what you have going on. Is there anything else that you'd like to talk about quickly or plug in before we head out?
Well, we've got, a couple of things. Well, I guess it's just new music's coming. We've got obviously a bunch of shows, but obviously at the minute they're all in the UK. But there's the next song is, well, it's Rojo, which is he's our producer, but he also makes music, and very good music. But he's going to be releasing Keep Morning, which features Moleface. So that's the next one. But we've got, in the next few months, we've got a lot of music coming out, and it's going to be, they're all very good songs, if I say so myself.
Well, that's awesome to hear. I'm so excited. I can't wait to hear them.
Thank you. It's going to be good. Well, we'll make sure to send you when we're starting to finish them and stuff.
Yes, I'd love to hear it all. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on. I wish we had a little more time, but we don't, unfortunately. But thank you so much for joining me. I'll shoot you a DM when this is all up and stuff. So
thank you so much. Thanks for having us.
Thank you guys. Have a good night, because it's like
have a good day.
Have a good night. Okay, bye.